We know that it's a 3-year, $123 million extension. Okay, everybody in the world knows that by now, with $108 million fully guaranteed at signing. So it is kind of interesting as a side note that TJ Watt is the guy twice now who has really altered how the Steelers do fully guaranteed money. And the $41 million per year average tops Myles Garrett. We know that. Very quickly, I think that the Steelers won on term here and TJ won on money. But that's not what interests me the most, Limits. Do you know what does?
What does?
Our friend Bob Pompiani, who's not even here. That's what interests me the most. And the Twitter poll that he put up. And when Bob puts one up, it's very different than when other people do. We know that, right?
Of course, the entire populace is responding.
I mean, there's nothing scientific about a Twitter poll, but there's nothing scientific about political polls or any other polls they take. They go over a cross-section of society, and then they tell you this is representative, for the most part, of what might happen here or how people think. So when nearly 3,000 people respond to Bob's Twitter poll, or X poll, however you want to phrase it, do you like the TJ Watt extension, which makes him the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history? Almost 3,000 people have voted in 7 hours, and it's split, which is the most incredible part of this whole story to me and has been from the beginning. I think I even mentioned this yesterday again, that in how many other places and at how many other times have you had a superstar, I think beloved athlete, I think TJ Watt is beloved around here, who gets into some sort of contract dispute with his team, and tons of people basically take the team's side or are saying he ain't worth the money, trade him. I'm flabbergasted, to borrow Ron Cook's term, when Ben talked about retirement on that fateful day on 93.7 The Fan. I'm just really surprised at where the fan base stands. And it's not just Bob Pompiani's Twitter poll. It's anecdotally, we've been talking about it for months here. When I'm out on the street and people say, "Oh my God, are you Ron Cook? Oh my God, are you Austin Bechtold?" And I say, "No, I'm just Joe Starkey."
Just Joe.
And of course they want to talk sports, and the first thing they want to talk about is the Steelers all the time. And the hot button topic, other than Aaron Rodgers, has been TJ Watt. And I'll tell you just anecdotally that I'm astounded at how many people are like, basically, screw that. Don't give him the money. See you later. Trade him. And I wonder why. And that's where I've been racking my brain since the news broke yesterday. Of course, not on our show. It never does. Why is it this way with the fan base? Because it is. I mean, we may get 10 calls in a row this morning, everybody saying, people who say this isn't a great deal is crazy. That won't disprove what I fully believe is true, that the fan base is at best split on a superstar player, still in his prime. I think he's probably played most of his best football by now, but still in his prime at age 30, turns 31 in October. How many of them were willing to say goodbye to TJ Watt, and how many of them wish that the Steelers hadn't done this? Like, this is strange. I think across sports in any market over history, your best player, your star player, still in his prime, and they sign him in a town where you have the Pirates, and people are like, I don't think this was the right move. And I'm not saying I disagree with them necessarily. I'm just fascinated by this phenomenon. And I would love for you to weigh in at 412-928-9370, 928-9370. Off the top, presented by JP Roofing, I might add very kindly, to Joe Potochnik and Company. So why? That's the question for me. And a couple of answers come up. One, is that I think fans are different these days. I think I don't want to say more educated, but they have access to more information. They're way more keen and concerned on money than they've ever been before, like what it means to sign a guy to a huge deal like this. What are the ramifications of that? I don't think they're necessarily much for this team because they're not paying a quarterback big-time money yet. But still, if you're paying an edge rusher that much money, first of all, who knows if a quarterback comes on the market next year? Like everybody's just assuming the next quarterback's going to be drafted. What if a guy comes on the market that you could pay for? Plus other areas of your roster. But that's beside the point, kind of. The point being that I think fans are more attuned to roster building and money doled out to players, how that affects things.